Hi, welcome to Loft 801. My name is Diego, and today I'm talking about Fight or Flight, directed by James Madigan and released on May 9th, 2025. The film is an action-packed thriller that takes the concept of assassins on a plane to new heights. Starring Josh Hartnett as Lucas Reyes, a disgraced Secret Service agent seeking redemption, the film delivers a blend of intense action sequences, dark humor, and a confined setting that amplifies the tension. This film is clearly inspired by Bullet Train, and I'll touch on that later. Quick heads up, this review may contain the occasional spoiler, but I'll do my best to avoid them. That said, I do want to give some more context on the narrative. The film kicks off with a chaotic scene aboard a commercial flight where passengers have erupted into violence. It's nowhere near as polished, as iconic, or as complex as the church scene from Kingsman, but that's what it reminded me of. The story then rewinds by 12 hours to introduce Lucas Reyes, who is reluctantly pulled back into the world of espionage to apprehend a notorious hacker known as the Ghost. The hacker is aboard a flight from Bangkok to San Francisco, and unfortunately for Reyes, the plane is filled with international assassins aiming to eliminate both him and his target. This movie is incredibly fun. It's one of those turn your brain off, kick back, and enjoy the ride kind of movies. The international double-decker flight is a great confined backdrop. It's not as flashy as a bullet train, and that's okay. Whether you're in first class, the cargo hold, or the main deck, there are assassins everywhere, and it's fun seeing Reyes kick. I love how the plane is cleverly used for combat. A food cart, a bin, a glass bottle, and even a seatbelt can be the difference between life and death. I like that every fight maximizes its environment and feels flashy. The stunt precision and choreography are certainly a standout. The movie also definitely earns its R rating with its blood and gore. It's not overtly dark, but it is comedic. There's a moment where a character is high, and when he stabs a lady's head and it fountains blood, it's actually fireworks in his mind. So even when the violence is pretty over the top, the movie is still very lighthearted with it. Also, there are definitely moments where the blood splatter looks like CGI, so it's never overwhelming. The star of this movie is obviously Josh Hartnett. His ability to blend physical action, emotional depth, and sly humor makes him a compelling protagonist. He looks like he's been to hell and back, but he still manages to be funny in a dry and bitter way. I also really love his character's fighting style. It feels messy. It's like watching a man who's trained but out of practice and gradually getting tired. You can hear the pain in his grunts, and when he gets hurt, he can't just walk it off. He has to crawl it off. This positions Reyes as an underdog and makes you root for him even more. I don't really know how to talk about the other main character without spoiling a really big plot point, so I'll try to keep things vague. The other main character is a surprisingly funny, reluctant ally. I like this character, but nearly all the good things about Reyes' character are missing from this character. This other main character is already automatically good at everything, so they don't have any weaknesses and they don't feel relatable. To be honest, they feel more like a walking plot device. This is really unfortunate because the actor does a really good job and I would totally watch another one of their films. I just wish they had better material. There are a couple of other side characters that I think could have largely been cut from this movie. There's an entire side Secret Service plotline that's going on in the background of the larger narrative. I thought the Secret Service plotline sucked and I was not impressed with the actors. This movie had a pretty good runtime of 1 hour and 41 minutes, but cutting out the Secret Service plotline could have shaved this movie down to 1 hour and a half. I don't know if this plot was included for setting variety or what, but it was certainly unnecessary. I've noticed a couple of modern action thrillers have made the same mistake like Flight Risk and Carry On. I think the underlying sentiment is to world build, but it's just not done well. Which, speaking of world building, this movie does set up a sequel. I'm still a little undecided on whether or not that sequel is earned. I genuinely love Josh Hartnett in this movie and wish him franchise success, but unfortunately all the other characters in this film are a little shallow. There are characters and random plot points that are introduced but never used again. There's even one international assassin that's teased as a crazy enemy, but Reyes does her in immediately. I think I'd watch a sequel if the assassins were a little bit more unique and not as generic. I think that's what I loved about Bullet Train. Even if the assassins were killed quickly, I loved how they all had their own backgrounds and motivations like Bad Bunny's Wolf. My hope for a sequel is that characters get fleshed out a little bit more in less cliche ways, and that the fighting takes place on a cruise ship or a ferry. One final thing I'll mention about this movie is that I enjoyed the soundtrack. In my opinion, the songs in this movie add to the humor. Whether it's Johann Strauss II's The Blue Danube playing over the chaotic intro, or Kawa No Boots by the Let's Go, the energy in this film is like when Shrek is fighting the knights in Farquaad's arena. This film is fun and it doesn't take itself too seriously. The music feels a little rebellious at times and it matches the fight to survive narrative, so it was great. Fight or Flight is exactly what it sets out to be, a fast-paced, self-aware action romp that thrives on mayhem in a metal tube in the sky. With Josh Hartnett leading the charge in one of his best roles in years, the film delivers brutal hand-to-hand combat, inventive use of space, and just the right amount of tongue-in-cheek humor. While some characters feel underdeveloped and the side plot drags more than it adds, the action and energy keep things fun and watchable. The soundtrack, the practical meets slapstick violence, and the plain setting give it a playful edge, even if the story never hits the same highs as something like Bullet Train. This film is not perfect, but definitely worth a watch if you're craving a bloody good time in the sky. If there's a sequel, I'll be there as long as it remembers to bring the personality with the punches. Thank you for listening to my review of Fight or Flight. If you enjoyed the content, leave a like and hit subscribe. If you did not enjoy the content, thank you for sticking around. As always, I would love to read what you have to say, so leave a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Also, if there's something you want to see reviewed, don't forget to let me know and I will do my best to get to it. Lastly, if you want to see some more from me, then you can check out my vlogs linked up above or my podcast, Good Friends. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Diego and I will see you next time.